In my opinion, the minivan is the most practical vehicle in the world. Just think about it. If you need to haul around your whole family or a bunch of people, say you need to move things around, keep them dry in a van, how about all-wheel drive as an option and get amazing fuel economy with a hybrid system? Look no further. That vehicle is the 2021 Toyota Sienna. Now, earlier we had a chance to do a video of the launch of this minivan, but today we're actually going to have a full walk around. So whatever you want to see, we're going to show that to you. We have two prototypes and we have a current generation Sienna to compare them with. Right after this. Now, to do this walk around, we have to go to Toronto where the prototypes are, but we're on the West Coast and unfortunately it's still not considered essential travel. So we are going to stay here and we're going to do this virtually. We have a helper with us. We have Olivier from Toyota Canada. Welcome, Olivier.
Hi, Brian.
So you have two brand new Toyota Siennas right behind you. Tell us about this new Sienna. It's on a brand new platform. It's new from the ground up, is it not?
That's correct. So it's been completely redesigned inside out. It's the all-new 2021 Sienna. And you're right, Brian, it's based on a new platform. It's a new Toyota global architecture. And it's what we call the K platform, the same one we use on the Highlander, for example.
I can see it. It does have some resemblance to the Highlander, especially for the styling. I think it has even, in my Highlander video, I think it even has a little bit of Supra in it, in the rear end though. Talk us through a little bit of the different looks that you can get with the Sienna and where did the styling come from?
So indeed, it's been completely redesigned. You can see behind me the Platinum grade and the XSE, which is our sporty grade. And I don't know if you, Brian, or your viewers have been to Japan, but in Japan they have a high-speed train called the Shinkansen, or the bullet train. And that's what it inspired our designer for the front of the vehicle. But you can also see some SUV inspiration in the design.
The one right behind you, the red one, this is this a new trim for a Sienna? Because it definitely looks, it looks pretty sporty.
Yes, it's the XSE trim. So it's our sporty Sienna. You can see that there's a honeycomb grille, with smoked headlights. There's a beautiful 20-inch black aluminum wheels. There's black badging, and there's also a sporty suspension on that vehicle.
This compared to the previous model, or the current model, I should say, the 2020, which we'll show some shots here because you actually do have one to your right of you. You have a brand new a 2020. What is the difference in dimension-wise? Is this any difference in size with this new platform at all?
So we don't have the numbers yet. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any numbers today, but it's very similar in size compared to the previous generation.
Okay, so standard features on the exterior. What kind of lights are we getting, or do we get LED headlamps on the Sienna and tail lamps at all?
Yes, so LED lights are standard, and it's both headlights and tail lamps. So you get your high beam, low beam, tail lamps. Even the turn signals are LEDs.
Okay, so there's one thing I'd like you to do. Can you walk over to the back of the white one there? And what trim is that one, by the way?
So the white one is a Platinum. It's a brand new grade for 2021. The previous generation, the Limited was a top grade. We still have a Limited, but now we have an even more luxurious grade, the Platinum.
All right, so let's take a look at the back. I want to open up the back hatch to give the viewers a look and a tour of what it's like in the new Sienna now. Now, let me tell you a little bit of a story. I was about to buy a new Sienna a couple years ago, and I tested one for actually 2 weeks. And the one thing that really bothered me was the back hatch. It was power operated, but when you squeeze or the trigger to open up the back hatch, the power hatch, it didn't do anything. You actually had to manually lift it up, which I figured, what's the purpose of having a power hatch? Yes, it would work by power with the key fob and with the button in the inside, and it was a deal breaker for me. So do me a favor, squeeze that handle, see if this power hatch actually works.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, look at that. It actually opens when you actually squeeze the handle now. How simple is that? Now, also, I read that this also has the hands-free option as well.
Yeah, so first thing is the power hatch is standard on all the grades. And on the upper trims, you do get the kick sensor. So you can open it even if your hands are busy.
Okay, now this is live. We've got a weed eater, weed whacker going here. Okay, so let's move over to the side because you're going to show me another new feature. What do you have for us now?
All right, so we have a power sliding door. That's nothing new, but what's new is that there's also a kick sensor. So if your hands are busy and you have your key in your pocket, you just have to put your foot. There's a little sign actually that shows you where to put your foot. And the door opens automatically.
Okay,
so we have that on both sides.
Okay, that was my next question. So it's on both sides. Yeah. That's a really, really handy option. Why don't you have a seat in there and let's talk more about the interior of this Sienna. All right.
All right, so we're now sitting in the top grade, the platinum grade. And the second row is actually very luxurious because you have access to an entertainment system with an 11.6-inch high-definition screen. There's a refrigerator as well. There's a vacuum cleaner.
So a refrigerator and a vacuum cleaner. So those are in the center console. We'll show some shots of that. Now, there's a refrigerator. It operates as a freezer as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's two modes. There's a refrigerator mode and there's a freezer mode as well.
When would you use the freezer mode? Because this only operates while the vehicle is running.
That's correct. So, I don't know, you're doing a road trip with your family, you just bought ice cream, and you're just waiting to find a nice spot to eat it. So just put it in there and until time's come to eat it. It won't melt.
Okay, that's a good answer. And the vacuum cleaner, that's always handy, and so you access it through the middle, and you empty it through the middle bin as well. Are those available as an option, or is that part of just the platinum package?
It's part of the platinum package, yes. And we decided to put that vacuum cleaner in the center of the vehicle, so it's easier to vacuum in the front, in the rear. It's centrally located.
I can tell you one thing, I have tested other minivans in the past that actually had a vacuum cleaner, and it is extremely, extremely handy. It really keeps your van or your vehicle a lot more clean because you end up vacuuming it way more often than you would normally vacuum. So the seats there, this is a 7-passenger that we're in right now?
That's correct. So there's two configurations available. There's a 8-seat configuration on the LE and XLE. And there's a 7-seat configuration with captain chairs on XLE, Limited, Platinum, and XSE.
Now, these slide, is it class leading in how much room you can actually get in the second row? They slide a lot, don't they?
Yes, so we have new sliding rails, and they're 25 inches long. So if you slide them all the way to the rear, you have a lot of space for your legs. We even have a limited versions with the Ottoman. So the reclining seats, very comfortable.
Wow, okay, so yeah, so reclining seats and an ottoman, that is very, very comfortable. Can you give us a slide? Are you at the max slide right now?
No, I can slide further to the rear.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And can you ask Romeric, the camera person, if he can pan down to see your legs?
Can you look down to see my legs?
All right. Okay, so that's quite a bit of room. That is quite a bit of room. And how tall are you, Olivier?
I'm 6'9". No, sorry, 5'9". 5'9".
Like, wow, 6'9", you're a giant.
I had to do the conversion in my head, but yeah, it is 5'9".
Okay, so let's talk about the front styling. It's totally different compared to, let's put an image up here of the current generation and put an image up here of the new one. Walk us through the new styling of the interior and what's available now.
So interior has been completely redesigned, and you can especially see that for the dash and the central console area. So we have a new multimedia screen. It's 9-inch, and it's standard on all the grades. It's compatible with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you can probably see on the images that there's a lot of storage space. We have a new central console, what we call a bridge console, and it's great ergonomics, gives you additional comfort, and there's a lot of space underneath to put a bag or purse or computer. We also have lots of USB ports, including USB-Cs. So for connectivity, the Sienna has really been thought for families.
Is there a head-up display now?
Yes. So for the very first time in the Sienna, there's a 10-inch color head-up display, and you'll get that in the platinum grade. And
for people that want to do maybe some tailgating or some camping, I believe there is now, I'm reading here that there's a 1500 watt inverter in the Sienna now. Is that correct?
That's correct. So you get a 120 volt outlet, and you can plug the device up to 1500 watts.
Which I'm telling you, that's enough to power your blender, pretty well anything. And is that standard, or is that an option to get, or part of a package to get that 1500 watt?
It's available. You would get that on higher trims.
Okay. The second row that you're sitting in right now, can
Yes.
you take those seats out? I had a question about that. Someone asked me, it's like, can you take those rear seats out at all?
So no, you cannot take them out. You can sort of fold them and slide them all the way. Against the first one, it gives you a lot of space in the rear, but you cannot remove them.
And of course, the third row actually folds flat, though.
Yes, it completely folds flat in the trunk. Yes.
Okay, so new exterior, new interior. The big news is new powertrain. Tell us about that. This is the big one.
All right. So the Sienna, the 2021 Sienna, only comes with a hybrid powertrain. So it's a combination of a gas engine. It's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, and it's combined with our two-motor hybrid system with for the front-wheel drive, and it's a 3-motor hybrid system for the all-wheel drive. And all those grades, except the Platinum, are available in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. Platinum is only available in all-wheel drive.
Is this the same system used in the new Highlander hybrid?
Yes, that's correct.
So we're talking 243 horsepower, 3,500 pound towing capacity, which is still the same.
Yes.
And it's 4-cylinder. A lot of people are going to cry, though, and they already have been. They're saying, I don't want a 4-cylinder. I want a V6. What do you say to people saying that?
Well, remember that the gas engine is combined with 2 electric motors. So when you need power, you need to pass a truck, for example, on a small road, the gas engine and the electric motor will give you the power that you need. I really invite your viewers to try this vehicle when it's available, and they would be surprised by the power, but also the smoothness and the fuel economy of that vehicle.
Okay, well, I can't wait to actually show the viewers, and also I can't wait to drive it myself. Now, getting back to towing, 3,500 pounds, do you need a towing package or anything to achieve those type of numbers?
No, so it comes standard with a Sienna. All the Siennas, from the entry-level LE all the way to Platinum, they get the towing package, which is mostly about cooling. Of course, you have to buy a hitch, which is an accessory that you can get from our dealers. But you don't have to add an option to get the 3,500 pounds.
Okay, so you get the engine cooler, you get the larger radiator, all those things that you need for towing there. Okay, so you have that. Are there any fuel economy numbers, or should we just look at the Highlander numbers?
So we don't have the final numbers yet, but we have an estimated 7.1 liter per 100 kilometers combined for the fuel economy.
Safety-wise, what kind of features can people expect on the Sienna?
Okay, great question, Brian. Safety is very important for Toyota. So standard on all the Sienna, the second generation of Toyota Safety Sense, which is our active safety suite. It comes with a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection and cyclist detection, lane departure alert with steering assist. We also have lane tracing assist that centers you in your lane on the highway. Full speed dynamic radar cruise control and automatic high beam. All these features are standard on all Siennas.
Since we have Toyota Canada on the line, let's see how important the Sienna is to their lineup with VP of Toyota Canada, Stephen Beattie. Welcome, Stephen.
Hi, Brian. It's nice to see you virtually.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hopefully we can see each other in person soon and test drive your car.
I'm looking forward to that. I have the feeling that people are really eager to get out in their cars again, and even start doing some day trips and stuff. So I think it's time to be talking new cars.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell us, how important is the Sienna in your lineup, and this move to go full hybrid, do you think you're going to lose out on some sales for the hardcore people that really want that gasoline only engine?
I think increasing numbers of Toyota buyers understand that hybrid's the way to go. You get better power application, you get better fuel economy, a much smoother drive. Overall, it's just a way superior experience. So I don't see any issues with it, and frankly, you're seeing that all across our lineup, whether it's RAV4, whether it's Highlander, Camry, Corolla. Hybrid technology is taking over. So I think that's great. Now, on the subject of where does Sienna fit in, at the end of the day, we've seen a big shift over the last number of years of people from the minivan category into three-row SUVs. But at the end of the day, for its stated purpose, which is to move people and things around, there is absolutely no better vehicle than a minivan. And so we think that if we can give you a minivan with great looks, incredible technology, and all of the benefits of hybrid, that there's a great opportunity here to do some things in the minivan segment.
I've said this for years. The minivan is the most practical vehicle you could possibly buy. It really is, hands down. So how have Sienna sales been in general in the last few years, though? And do you think this hybrid and this new one is really going to help that out and kick it up?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, obviously, minivan sales generally aren't where they were, back in the 1990s, for example. But our sales have held quite stable, and that's with a model that was admittedly getting pretty long into its model life. We think this new one with the new style, new technology, is going to spark some renewed interest. There are lots of happy Sienna owners out there as well, who might use this as an opportunity to take a look at replacing the van that they're currently driving. But overall, as I said, I think if you look at this segment of the market, by going all hybrid, by having all-wheel drive with hybrid technology, we think we've got something that makes a lot of sense for Canadian drivers, and so we're very excited about it.
Do you think this is the way to go, being just the one powertrain only, and it happens to be hybrid?
I'm completely convinced by it. And when you look at the sales number of a RAV4, you can see that our RAV4 hybrid has a lot of success. So Canadians are more and more interested by this type of vehicles.
Yeah, speaking of RAV4 and the RAV4 hybrid, I own a hybrid. I own a Highlander hybrid, and I do enjoy that. But the RAV4 hybrid also comes now in the Prime, the RAV4 Prime, the plug-in hybrid. Where is the plug-in Sienna? Like, is that going to happen? Is this the first step? So
I cannot comment on future products, but what I can tell you is that it's a big step for Toyota to move from the V6 to the hybrid system, and it's a no compromise vehicle. You don't need to plug it. You just fill the tank of gas. Just like a regular vehicle, it drives the same way as a regular vehicle. You just go to the gas station less often. So a big step for us.
Pricing and availability, can you tell us anything there?
No, so pricing will be released later, closer to the launch date. Availability, it will be launched this fall. I don't have an exact date to give you, but it will be this fall.
And where is the Sienna made?
The Sienna is made in the US. In our plant in Indiana, just like the Highlander.
Just like the Highlander, made in the USA, this is a no compromise vehicle. Like I said earlier on the intro, there really is no better, more practical vehicle than a minivan. And if you've been waiting and you're on the fence to get a minivan, you really need to check this out because you get all the best things. I do want to try it out myself, the 2.5 liter hybrid system. You don't need a lot of power driving a minivan. You normally want to drive as smooth as possible, but you know, it'd be interesting to see, you know, you put something on the back, tow something with it and see if it, how it handles. So that's it for this walk around. I hope you enjoyed it, and till next time, see you in the next video.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to another Redline First Look video from my office/studio just outside the DC area. Now, ordinarily, I would be at the New York Auto Show, which was supposed to happen last month, where Toyota would have taken the wraps off of 2 all-new vehicles. So this video is going to be focusing primarily on the 2021 Toyota Sienna. Toyota also unveiled the 2021 Venza. I'll be doing a separate video on that. So after you watch this video, be sure to click on the link in the description below so you can watch the video on the Venza. But the Sienna is all new for 2021. It's been about almost a decade since a new Sienna came out. So we've been highly anticipating this all new minivan. So let's take a first look. So although minivans are no longer the most popular choice for families today, they are still, without a doubt, the more practical option, especially when you compare it to all of those crossover SUVs. As much as I like the way an SUV looks, a minivan is just more functional, especially when you have little kids or a lot of people or a lot of stuff, or a combination of both that you constantly have to carry. Now, the Sienna has a long history for Toyota. The current nameplate dates back to 1998. It replaced the Previa, if you guys remember that vehicle from the early 1990s, and now it's in its 4th generation. And we've been waiting for an all-new Sienna for a while now. The current 3rd generation dates back to 2010, so it was long overdue for a replacement. As you can see, the look of the new van is definitely an evolutionary approach when you first look at it from the front end for me. Toyota says they combined a lot of the SUV-like styling with traditional minivan lines. They also offer it in several different trims. The sporty XSE trim is the one that gets 20-inch wheels, which is a first for a Sienna. It's definitely a big wheel for a minivan, although the Pacifica also offers its own set of 20-inch wheels. And unlike the previous generation Sienna, which you couldn't even get with LED headlights, the new one now comes standard with full LED headlights, and the taillights are also an LED combination. Most trims will also get an LED fog light, LED daytime running lights, so it's now finally a much more modern look. You have the same basic front end with different grille designs. The XSE has kind of a honeycomb design grille to give it a more sportier look. The grille is definitely a lot larger. It's very similar to the front fascia that you find on the Camry, but with the same kind of shape to the headlights with a little bit more sharp angles and creases here to make this thing look a little bit more aggressive. Toyota says they designed the new Sienna to be kind of inspired by the Japanese bullet train, which means it's supposed to appear sleek, steady, and confident, which it's a minivan, you're going to be carrying people in it. Now, the one beauty about Toyota products is they are standard with a lot of safety tech, and the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 will be standard on all grades. You'll get features like automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, lane departure alert, blind spot monitoring with a cross traffic alert. That's standard on every trim level of the Sienna. Now, the big news about the all-new 4th generation Sienna is the fact that Toyota has dropped the V6 for this generation. That's right, the Sienna only comes as a hybrid now. The platform, as I said, is now the TNGA-K platform, and they built this platform with electrification in mind. So basically, you're gonna get the same powertrain that I sampled in the Highlander hybrid, the new version. So it marries a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder that runs on the Atkinson cycle. It has variable valve timing, all that good stuff, and it pairs it up with up to three electric motors, depending on if you guys go for the front drive model or the all-wheel drive model. That's right, the Sienna will still continue to offer all-wheel drive. It'll be the only minivan in the segment that offers all-wheel drive with a hybridized powertrain. The Pacifica offers all-wheel drive this year, but it's limited to only the gas version. The plug-in hybrid Pacifica does not offer all-wheel drive. Toyota says the combined output of the 3 electric motors and the gas engine is 243 horsepower. Now that matches that directly of the Highlander hybrid, which I had a chance to drive that. I was pretty impressed with the Highlander, although I did find that the engine, the powertrain, felt a little underpowered at times for me. So we'll have to wait and see how this minivan drives. Toyota says that a lot of customers really love the hybridized powertrain because it offers a lot of low-end torque from a dead stop, and that's what makes the vehicle feel a lot faster. Because as you know, a minivan isn't really about drag racing or beating people at the light, it's just all about the feel. So you want that effortless feel. Now the powertrain is mated to a CVT, it's Toyota's eCVT, it's your only transmission option. And Toyota says that even though it's a hybrid, all Sienna vans will tow a maximum of 3,500 pounds, so you're not losing any of that practicality that you expect from your minivan. Now the one thing that I'm curious about, what about a plug-in hybrid version? Toyota said that the platform is capable or had electrification in mind, so it's capable of running a plug-in hybrid version, but they did not confirm that. So my guess is Toyota is thinking about that depending on the demand. I'd love to see the RAV4 hybrid or the RAV4 Prime's powertrain under the hood of the Sienna. The one thing that I'm curious about, will you guys miss the V6 though? Because the V6 offered like almost 300 horsepower. So the hybrid is going to be down on power, but with up to 33 mpg. That's right, 33 mpg. This is now the most fuel efficient minivan in the segment, and it beats out the Pacifica hybrid by about 3 mpg combined. So people don't necessarily buy minivans for their sleek styling or a lot of muscle under the hood. They buy minivans because these are supposed to be family vehicles. They have a direct purpose. So Toyota spent a lot of time on the interior of the all-new 4th generation Sienna, and it has been totally elevated versus the previous generation. Now previously, Siennas have never really had really nice materials. Now obviously I'm not sitting in the van, so I have to go by the photos and the videos that Toyota has provided me with to talk about the interior. So we'll try our best here. But if you guys go for the top of the line platinum grade, you have a bunch of new luxury touches on this van, like 360-degree camera, a heads-up display that's about 10 inches in size. You can now get a built-in refrigerator and vacuum cleaner. That's right. The Odyssey and the Pacifica were one of the first to offer the vacuum cleaner. Toyota now offers it as standard unlimited and the platinum grade. So that's a cool little party trick. You can also get features like an 11.6-inch rear seat entertainment system, rain sensing windshield wipers, heated and ventilated front seats with heated second row seats, and a first for the segment, a power tilt and telescoping steering column. So it's all very Lexus-like in there. I think a lot of consumers are going to appreciate the nicer cabin finishes. Now the infotainment system, that's always a big important factor for a lot of modern buyers. Toyota says their 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system will come standard with features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Amazon Alexa. It definitely looks good. It's got that new tablet style orientation, of course, with the physical volume and tuning knob, which I appreciate, and a bunch of hard buttons that you'll find on the left and the right side of the screen. The one thing that I'm really perplexed about, why didn't Toyota offer their larger 12.3-inch touchscreen that you find on the Highlander? I just don't understand why they don't offer that screen. The Sienna is a minivan. It's got this big expansive dash, and the 9-inch screen is fine, but it looks a little small and people really appreciate the widescreen. So my guess is it's probably a cost-cutting measure, but it would be nice to see if Toyota would offer that. So if you think they should, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what your thoughts are. Now, a couple of cool new features as well. The second row captain's chairs, if you guys go for a front wheel drive limited or platinum grade, offer this new super long slide feature, which can slide all the way back by about 25 inches, the most in the segment. So basically, when you have the third row seat folded, you could slide the second row into the third row area. And it also has this expandable ottoman. So it basically turns the second row into like a first class jet. It's your own private lounge chair, which is a really cool feature. Great if you guys don't need to use the third row and you just want to give the second row passengers as much space as they'd like. In typical minivan fashion, there's plenty of cargo space and storage cubbies in this thing. Behind the third row, you'll get up to 33.5 cubic feet of space, which is one of the reasons why you buy a minivan. You just can't get that kind of space in those 3-row crossovers. Something like even like the Highlander only offers around 17 cubic feet of space with the third row up. And because it's a minivan, you also get up to 16 cup holders and 7 USB charging ports. So all you families out there with your kids that need to charge all of their crap, nobody will be fighting for a USB charging port because the Sienna offers so many, and with all those cup holders. Now, the top trims will also get a 12-speaker, 1200 watt JBL premium sound system, which is fantastic. I hope it sounds as good as the specs suggest. And the one thing that I did notice, however, the new Sienna is not available with a panoramic sunroof. All the press photos and B-roll video only show just a standard size sunroof. I think that's a missed opportunity. I would have liked to see Toyota offer a pano roof. But overall, I am looking forward to getting inside a new Sienna in person. Hopefully that'll be at the next auto show, whenever that'll be. So if you're looking to buy this all-new 2021 Sienna, Toyota says it will be going on sale by the end of this year, probably around winter 2020. And obviously no pricing has yet been announced, but the current generation starts at around $32,000, just under $32,000, and it topped out around $50,000. I wouldn't be surprised to see this new van get more expensive. I mean, I would probably say maybe a grand or two more expensive. Minivans in general are just getting more expensive. So if you actually need a van, because it really is the best way to carry all your people and all of your stuff, the new Sienna should be a really great new addition when it does go on sale by the end of this year. But with all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Redline first look video on the 2021 Toyota Sienna.
If you've been looking for one of the most fuel-efficient people carriers available in the US, Toyota has a brand new Sienna for you in 2021. We were supposed to be seeing the new Sienna and, of course, the upcoming new Venza crossover at an auto show this year, but due to the pandemic, we're here in the office taking a look at still pictures and videos that Toyota has provided instead. Without further ado, let's dive right into the big details. First up, the Sienna for 2021 is going to be happening this calendar year. We're told to expect it by the end of the year, probably in fourth quarter of 2020, and every Sienna model is going to be hybrid. That's a massive change for a strong contender in the minivan segment, where up till now, the only hybrid option has been the plug-in hybrid Pacifica from Chrysler. The important thing to keep in mind is that there are a ton of things that we don't know about the Sienna at this point. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know the exact date when it will be on sale. I don't know when I'll be able to drive one. And we don't know exactly how big it is on the inside, whether it has shrunk versus the current generation Sienna or whether it has grown a little bit. I expect the interior perhaps to be a little bit smaller because in a lot of Toyota's latest vehicles, the Highlander, the RAV4, etc., they've actually shrunken a little bit on the inside versus the previous generation, and it's possible that that may apply to the Sienna as well. But let's dive into the things that we do know. The Sienna is going to be based on the same platform as the Highlander and the RAV4. It's going to be the biggest interpretation of this platform at the moment, and it's going to share the hybrid system with the Toyota Highlander. The hybrid system is Toyota's latest 2.5-liter four-cylinder hybrid system. It is roughly the same version of the system that we find in the Camry, the RAV4, the upcoming Venza hybrid crossover, and of course the Toyota Highlander. But Toyota makes the system in two different power outputs. We have one that's 219 horsepower, that's the one that we see in the RAV4 and the upcoming Venza, and then one that produces 243 horsepower for their larger and heavier vehicles like the Highlander and now the Sienna. As with the Highlander, it's going to be available as either a front-wheel drive minivan or an all-wheel drive minivan, but it's not going to be using a mechanical all-wheel drive system. It is going to be using an e-all-wheel drive system, so electric motor on the rear axle, just like we see in the Highlander. We don't know specific details, but I suspect these are probably the exact same parts that we see in the Highlander. That means that if you want a traditional all-wheel drive minivan in America, your only option for 2021 is going to be the Chrysler Pacifica minivan, which has just finally reintroduced all-wheel drive after being on hiatus for a very, very long time. This change also means that if for some reason you want a V6 engine or you just don't like saving fuel, then you're going to have to look at other minivans available in America because there's no V6 option in the Sienna. It is all hybrid all the time. Again, not all the details are available just yet, but we do know that the hybrid battery pack is going to be located under the front seats, not under the second row or third row, which is kind of an interesting touch. And it's going to be a nickel metal hydride battery, similar to what we see in the RAV4, rather than the newer lithium-ion battery packs that we see in some of Toyota's vehicles, like the new Venza or, of course, the Toyota Highlander. According to Toyota, this system should be good for 33 miles per gallon combined and towing of up to 3,500 pounds, basically the same tow rating that we see in the Highlander hybrid. That will make the Sienna, by far, the most efficient minivan available in America. The Chrysler Pacifica hybrid gets 30 miles per gallon, so this is 3 miles per gallon better, but it is worth noting, of course, that has an all-EV range of about 30 miles as well. So if you are really interested in not consuming gasoline, that's the only plug-in hybrid option at the moment, although I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Toyota ends up giving us a Sienna Prime. It's just not going to be anytime soon. Toyota has been pretty upfront about their plans for electrification. Their plan includes a big push on hybridization and plug-in hybrids, and then very slowly a transition towards full EVs much further out in the future. By 2025, they expect every model in the lineup to be a hybrid, and they expect to be selling about 20% of their volume as a hybrid. Some EV fans have been giving Toyota a bit of a hard time for their dedication to hybridization, but there's a lot of rationality here. If you have the same number of battery packs available, and remember that batteries are a relatively limited commodity in the world right now, it makes an awful lot more environmental sense to take those same quantities of batteries and make 20 to 30 times more hybrids than full EVs. You end up with a better impact on the overall environment. And that's exactly what we see in Toyota's lineup. Now let's dive into some of the details. There is, of course, going to be an XSE trim, just like we see XSE trims of a bunch of different Toyota models. It's going to give us a sportier, more aggressive look up front, but not any extra power. The lower grille definitely looks pretty hungry there. We also get some very attractive 20-inch split 5-spoke wheels on this particular model. And as you'd expect out of any new vehicle design, we have new LED headlamps and new LED tail lamp designs. And even though this still definitely looks like a Sienna and looks like a minivan, they've tried to style it to be a little bit sportier. We definitely have a stronger haunch in the rear, some slightly more aggressive lines here and there, but this is not going to fool anybody into thinking that this is a Highlander. Although again, we don't know details yet, I wouldn't be surprised if overall curb weight ends up dropping for the Sienna, so that is probably going to help out when it comes to overall handling ability. Now let's dive into some of the interior details. All models are going to have a 7-inch color multifunction display. That's the one between the speedometer and tachometer. They're also all going to have a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system right in the middle of the dashboard. This is a little bit smaller than we see in the Highlander in the top-end trims or in the upcoming Venza. For some reason, we're not going to get the larger 12-inch screen. They tell us it was primarily due to design and visibility reasons, but I really would have loved to have seen a bigger screen in this interior. Going down the list here, we're also going to get power windows standard in all models, dual power sliding doors with an innovative kick feature. So you can actually kick under the sliding doors just like you can with the back door to open them. You'll find that on the XLE trim and above. 3-zone automatic climate control looks to be standard on all trims. 4-zone climate control is found in the upper end trims. You can also get Softex upholstery and leather, but leather is reserved for the limited and platinum trims only. As you'd expect out of a modern minivan, there's also a vacuum integrated. You'll find that only in the limited trim, unfortunately, and the vacuum and refrigerator combo happen only in the platinum version. Speaking of the platinum version, Toyota was one of the first manufacturers out there to realize that some minivan shoppers were looking for a more luxurious minivan, so they've continued that tradition for the platinum trim, giving us more feature content than we've had before. For instance, the second row seats move further backwards than they've ever done before, and they will move even further rearward if you fold the third row flat into the floor. But it's time to talk about one of the downsides that we did hear on a conference call with Toyota today, and that is that the second row seats do not come out of the minivan. And that is a little bit surprising because some folks out there were really throwing shade at Kia's minivan for its second row captain's chairs that don't come out of the car. Unfortunately, this is going to be a problem when it comes to cargo practicality. One of the best things about minivans is that you could either take all the seats out, or if you're looking at a Chrysler minivan, you could fold them all into the floor and stick some really big cargo on the inside of your minivan. And very clearly, this is going to be similar to those Kia minivans where the seats just slide and fold up against the front seats, where you couldn't put as large an item on the inside as you could in an Odyssey, a Pacifica, or of course, the very, very old Dodge Caravan. The reason for this is that the engineers decided to put thorax airbags in the sides of the second row seats. And that meant that they didn't want the second row seats to be able to come out of the vehicle because you'd have to worry about connecting those airbags or having them operate in a different fashion. They thought that was a really bad idea to have consumers interacting with airbags essentially, and that's why those seats don't come out of the minivan. These airbags are in addition to curtain airbags that do cover the entire window zone for all 3 rows. But this is a little bit different than the safety systems that we see in other minivans out there. This could have a positive impact in the side score when it comes to overall crash tests for the Sienna, but it is a little bit too early to tell. But that's the big reason that the second row seats don't come out. The other thing we don't know about the second row seats is whether you can leave a child seat latched into place and still tilt and slide those seats forward to get access to the third row. But because this is a minivan, generally speaking, the door openings are a little bit wider, and if you get captain's chairs, then people can always go through the middle. So it may not be as big of an issue as it is in some crossovers out there. The last thing I'm happy to report that we noticed in Toyota's press conference is that a spare tire is going to be available in all Sienna grades. It's not standard, but it is available. So if you're looking for the most efficient minivan in America and what looks to be one of the most premium minivans in America, you should definitely put the Sienna on your shopping list. Hopefully we'll get more detailed specifications on the new 2021 Sienna from Toyota very soon, but it is going to go on sale in the fourth quarter of calendar year 2020 we're sold, so expect fall or winter 2020, somewhere in that range. We don't know exactly where it will be, and of course I don't know exactly when I'll be able to drive it due to the ongoing pandemic. But it is easy to say that if you're looking for one of the most premium minivans in America, likely one of the most reliable minivans in America, and now the most fuel-efficient minivan in America, then the Sienna is probably going to be one worth waiting for.
I'm Eric Novak at Toyota Canada's Scarborough, Ontario headquarters, where I'm getting to see something I was beginning to think I wouldn't see again, an all-new Sienna minivan. Toyota has not added a new generation to the Sienna family since 2011, but I guess they've just been waiting to put some real extra nice things into it. I'm going to get a little bit of a sneak tour and a little preview of it. It's not available yet. We won't see it until the fall, but I'm going to get a look inside. And one thing that really excites me, all trim levels, base engine, it's a hybrid.
Hello, my name is Olivier Depenweiler from Toyota Canada, and we're going to do a walk around of the 2021 Sienna. So this is the all-new 2021 Sienna. It's the fourth generation, and in front of you can see the XSC grade, which is our sporty grade, and you can see a platinum grade. And platinum grade is brand new for the Sienna. For the last generation, Limited was the top of the line. Now we have a top of the line luxury platinum grade. So we have 5 grades. We have the LE, XLE, XSC, Limited and Platinum. And all those grades except the Platinum are available in front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. The Platinum is all-wheel drive only. This vehicle is based on the TNGA platform. TNGA means Toyota New Global Architecture, and it's a K platform. So it's the same platform we use on the Highlander, on the new Venza as well. Right. And the powertrain is also a TNGA powertrain. So it's a hybrid system. This vehicle is only available with a hybrid system. So it includes a 4-cylinder engine, 2.5 liter, and a hybrid system with 2 electric motor on the front-wheel drive Sienna and 3 electric motor on the all-wheel drive Sienna.
The decision was made to make hybrid as standard. Why?
Well, hybrid technology makes total sense for our customers, and we can see that Canadians are more and more attracted by hybrid vehicles, and the proof is our RAV4 hybrid. We are very successful with the hybrid version, and it's a no compromise vehicle. So you don't need to plug it in, just use it like a regular vehicle. You just go to the gas station less often with a hybrid vehicle.
So the drop, your foot feature also works on the sliding doors?
That's correct, yes. So it's the very first time we have that on the Sienna. And when your hands are busy and you have a key in your pocket or your hand, you can just kick to open the sliding door on both sides.
On both sides and on the rear hatch?
That's correct.
Very neat. Tell me a little bit about the interior that we have here.
So the interior has been completely redesigned. You can probably see that we have a new console bridge that is more ergonomic, more comfortable. All the Siennas come with a 9-inch multimedia display. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard.
Android Auto?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Multiple drive modes, sport,
eco, normal, and EV mode as well.
Tell me about the rearview mirror.
So it's called a digital display rear view mirror. So if you have lots of passengers or, like, for example, camping gear and you cannot see through the mirror, there's a camera mounted on the rear hatch, and it's a high definition camera, and it shows you what's behind you.
Is that standard, or is that you can select it? Can you go to a regular?
No, it's available. It's on a higher trim.
But I mean, when it's in this mode, can I go to a regular mirror mode right
Yes,
now?
for sure. So you just use the little tab here. And the thing that I like very much is that the backup camera and the camera used for this digital display, there's a washer nozzle. So when you clean the rear window, just like on the Highlander, it cleans the cameras as well.
Which is especially useful in the wintertime.
That's correct. You don't have to use your finger anymore.
Where's the wireless charging port? Oh, right here. I see.
Right
Okay.
there, yes.
I see. Yeah. It's basic. It's really nice. So we have a refrigerator.
So you can open it there. And you can see the two buttons, the buttons closer to you. So there's two modes. There's a refrigerator mode and a freezer mode.
Yes, I see that. Which is definitely going to be handy. And we have...
And you can also see that there's a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, is this on the right?
Yes. So there's a little bag.
So
that's usually where they make a mess.
The bag and the canister would be here in the center this part here?
Yes. And I can show you, there's a little tray that...
Yeah, please.
So let me just move this. So there's a little tray here. And you pull it and you can empty it.
We have a cooler, but what about cup holders? What about for kids?
So we have up to 18 cup holders in the 2021 Sienna.
18 cup holders?
Yes.
USB ports, connectivity?
Yes, so there's 7 USB ports.
Okay.
And there's including USB-C ports. That's the very first time we have USB-C.
USB-C, okay. And their position in each row?
So there's 3 in the front, 2 in the second row, and 2 in the third row.
Okay, I can see one, I believe. Is that it there? Right.
So what you see in the back there is just a jack for the rear entertainment system.
Oh, for audio pickup.
You have 2 of them right there.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
And an
HDMI. Yeah, no, it's fine. I see that.
And HDMI.
HDMI. So you have the ability to 2 zones for audio. You can the parents in the front could be listening to something different.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. And there's also 120 volt outlet. So we already had that in the previous generation.
Yeah.
But in the previous generation, it was 100 watt. This time it's 1500 watts.
Okay.
So if you go camping, you can basically plug anything.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to have to wait till the fall to actually do a full test drive of this 2021 Sienna. But from what I see in this early sneak peek, it looks really good. The hybrid powertrain as standard is something that families like myself, who obviously see the value and need of a minivan, but have always been concerned about fuel economy, well, this is definitely something we should be seeing all over the place. And I love how it's standard here now. So stay tuned. I will get behind the wheel of this as soon as I can. And as it said here, we should see these in dealerships across North America around about mid-fall. But until then, from Toyota Canada's headquarters in Scarborough, Ontario, I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.
the all-new 4th generation Toyota Sienna. A no-compromise van with striking design cues and innovative convenience features that are perfect for active weekend adventurers and busy families alike. Engineered, designed, and assembled in the United States, the new Sienna is poised to shake up its segment with a standard hybrid powertrain and available all-wheel drive across the entire lineup. With its focus on technology, distinctive styling, creature comforts, and impressive fuel economy, it's easy to see why the all-new Sienna offers the perfect mix of fun and versatility. Let's learn more. Sienna enters a new generation with an all-hybrid lineup spread across 5 grades: LE and XLE, the sporty XSE, and the top Limited and Platinum. And for added grip in low-traction scenarios, Sienna continues to offer available all-wheel drive capability on all 5 grades. Sienna stands out from its segment with distinctive body lines and SUV-inspired design cues. This exterior is offered in multiple styles, with a sporty honeycomb-style grille on XSE and a dark gray metallic design on Limited and Platinum. Meanwhile, the XSE and Platinum grades up the ante even further with available 20-inch alloy wheels. And even on the outside, Sienna doesn't forget about convenience. With its available kick open and close power liftgate and power sliding side doors, perfect for camping, moving, or shopping. The interior of the all-new Sienna is just as striking as its exterior. With its unique center console and sculpted features, the interior is refined and inviting. This vast cabin offers comfortable seating for 7 or 8 passengers, as well as available super long slide second-row captain's seats with an ottoman and sunshades that make this interior more closely resemble a private jet than a van. Sienna's flexible seating and cargo layout allows for easy access to the back and quick adjustments to make the most of all that space, like the folding third-row seats that can be stowed away in one easy motion. And Sienna passengers will always ride in comfort with its available 4-zone climate control system. If that wasn't enough, the available heated leather-trimmed front and second-row seats and heated steering wheel will help keep the whole family warm on chilly days. But if there's one thing a van needs, it's convenience. And Sienna delivers in droves here. That's not just referring to details like Sienna's 16 standard cup holders. Select grades also boast handy new features like an available built-in vacuum for those unexpected messes, and even a 2-stage refrigerator box to keep the family's snacks chilled or frozen. Just like with its decked-out interior, Sienna goes the extra mile when it comes to technology. It starts with a range of touchscreen audio multimedia systems that all feature standard compatibility for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Amazon Alexa, and an all-access 3-month trial to SiriusXM. And in the case of the top premium audio units, an available 12-speaker JBL premium audio system delivers 1,200 watts of crystal-clear power. In back, an available 11.6-inch 1080p rear seat entertainment system will work miracles when it comes to keeping passengers entertained. While the available Driver Easy Speak feature makes it easy to speak to riders in the back. And there's plenty of power for everyone's devices as well, with 7 standard USB ports across Sienna's 3 rows, an available Qi-compatible wireless charging tray, and even an available 1,500-watt power inverter in the rear cargo area that can come in seriously handy when out on the open road or camping. Likewise, there's advanced technology in Sienna's convenience features, including a standard blind spot monitor with rear cross-traffic alert system, as well as available features like a color head-up display, digital rear-view mirror, rain-sensing windshield wipers, and bird's-eye view camera with perimeter scan. Toyota has always considered safety a priority, so it's no surprise that Sienna shields its riders with cutting-edge safety technology. This begins with Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, a suite of active safety features that come standard on all grades and includes a pre-collision system with pedestrian and bicyclist detection, as well as lane departure alert with steering assist, automatic high beams, full speed range dynamic radar cruise control, and lane tracing assist. TSS 2.0 also features road sign assist, which can display certain traffic signs on the instrument panel and the available head-up display. Likewise, the available front and rear parking assist sonar makes it easy to pull into a tight spot, while the new rear seat reminder feature reminds drivers to stay mindful of little passengers and pets. Sienna's versatility makes everyday life easier, and its hybrid electric powertrain also offers smooth and refined driving characteristics. And better yet, it has seriously impressive manufacturer-estimated fuel economy numbers. It's also the first hybrid van with all-wheel drive capability. And for those looking to tow a trailer for a fun weekend excursion, Sienna achieves a 3,500-pound tow rating on all grades. All in all, the new Sienna is uncompromising with its vast amounts of style, space, economy, and versatility. With its all-hybrid powertrain and advanced tech features, Sienna is reshaping the van segment for a whole new generation. Head over to Toyota.com to learn more. The interior of the all-new Sienna is just as striking as its exterior. With its unique center console and sculpted features, the interior is refined and inviting. This vast cabin offers comfortable seating for 7 or 8 passengers, as well as available super long slide second-row captain's seats with an ottoman and sunshades that make this interior more closely resemble a private jet than a van. Sienna's flexible seating and cargo layout allows for easy access to the back and quick adjustments to make the most of all that space, like the folding third-row seats that can be stowed away in one easy motion. And Sienna passengers will always ride in comfort with its available 4-zone climate control system. If that wasn't enough, the available heated leather-trimmed front and second-row seats and heated steering wheel will help keep the whole family warm on chilly days. But if there's one thing a van needs, it's convenience. And Sienna delivers in droves here. That's not just referring to details like Sienna's 16 standard cup holders. Select grades also boast handy new features like an available built-in vacuum for those unexpected messes, and even a 2-stage refrigerator box to keep the family's snacks chilled or frozen. Just like with its decked-out interior, Sienna goes the extra mile when it comes to technology. It starts with a range of touchscreen audio multimedia systems that all feature standard compatibility for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Amazon Alexa, and an all-access 3-month trial to SiriusXM. And in the case of the top premium audio units, an available 12-speaker JBL premium audio system delivers 1,200 watts of crystal-clear power. In back, an available 11.6-inch 1080p rear seat entertainment system will work miracles when it comes to keeping passengers entertained. While the available Driver Easy Speak feature makes it easy to speak to riders in the back. And there's plenty of power for everyone's devices as well, with 7 standard USB ports across Sienna's 3 rows, an available Qi-compatible wireless charging tray, and even an available 1,500-watt power inverter in the rear cargo area that can come in seriously handy when out on the open road or camping. Likewise, there's advanced technology in Sienna's convenience features, including a standard blind spot monitor with rear cross-traffic alert system, as well as available features like a color head-up display, digital rear-view mirror, rain-sensing windshield wipers, and bird's-eye view camera with perimeter scan.
segment is not as crowded as it once was, many families still rely on the spaciousness and flexibility that only a minivan can provide. Toyota remains committed to the segment, and this all-new 2021 Sienna is proof. No one has embraced the minivan as much as Americans, so it makes sense that Toyota has designed, engineered, and will of course assemble the Sienna here in the US. It looks exactly like what you'd expect an updated Sienna to look like. High-waisted shape with more pronounced character lines and an aggressive big mouth grille that widens at the bottom. Sporty XSE trims get 20-inch wheels and more aggressive bumpers. Bigger news here is that all Siennas, at least for now, are hybrids. The 2.5-liter i4-based Toyota Hybrid System 2 delivers 243 horsepower and an expected 33 miles per gallon combined. As before, all-wheel drive is available. Similar to the Highlander hybrid, the Sienna uses an on-demand rear-mounted electric motor to deliver as much as 80% of total vehicle power when the fronts lose traction.
While the 2021 Toyota Sienna is no longer the only minivan to offer all-wheel drive, I think it's still the leader in this practical technology by using a rear electric motor instead of an old-school system using mechanical transfer with a drive shaft. AWD is increasingly a requirement for families living in the colder climates like the Northeast. And in that vein, along with all the other improvements, I think the 2021 Sienna will continue to be the top all-wheel drive minivan choice.
There are 7 or 8 passenger versions with even more seating flexibility than before. A new bridge console not only packs a wealth of storage space, but blends into the dash much higher than typical to bring the shifter and controls much closer to hand, but also provides separation between driver and front seat passenger, which can be a good or bad thing depending on who called shotgun.
Inside, this new Sienna gets even more family-friendly. There are as many as 18 cup holders, and with every trim level, it gets better. It's poised to give the Honda Odyssey Touring Elite a run for its money. That minivan has a vacuum. Well, the Sienna Platinum trim has a vacuum and a refrigerator, upping this minivan's cool factor.
We are really just scratching the surface here, so stay tuned for more info on the 2021 Sienna. But before you run off, there's more Toyota news to share. The 5-seat Venza is making a return to the lineup after a 6-year hiatus. The more SUV-like shape of this 2021 should help this one stick around a little longer, as the original Venza crossover was a bit ahead of its time. It too will feature a standard hybrid powertrain with a combined rating of 40 miles per gallon. Further, electric all-wheel drive is also standard. Options include a cool Stargaze panoramic roof with frost control, making the new Venza one cool place to chill. Together with the new Sienna, it's a double notch in Toyota's goal to offer hybrids across the board by 2025. We'll be sure to update you when it's our turn behind the wheel. Until then, keep it locked on Motor Week.
Look who's showing up at the school run with standard hybrid power and available all-wheel drive. It's the 2021 Toyota Sienna. No, I'm not sure why it's so late for class, I'm just glad it's here. Toyota has long been a hybrid leader, so it's surprising it's taken 4 generations to electrify its most family-friendly model. But as you'll soon see and hear, it's clear the automaker isn't fooling around. For starters, just take a look at this thing. It's wild and not just for a minivan. Toyota says Sienna's design was inspired by the bold character of today's SUVs, as well as by Japan's Shinkansen bullet trains. Now, I've been fortunate enough to ride the rails in Toyota's home country a lot, and I don't recall those iconic trains looking like this grille-heavy Sienna. Okay, so maybe the bulbous hood a little bit. The Japanese thing that Sienna reminds me most of are Toyota's home market minivans, especially the Alphard and Velfire. Like those, this minivan delivers truly radical looks that won't be for everybody. But hey, if you lose this bad boy in the Costco lot, turn around and march back inside, because it's time to get your eyes checked. All that unmistakable sheet metal rides atop Toyota's TNGA-K platform, which underpins everything from today's Camry to the just-announced Venza. Sienna's new chassis is more rigid, which should help driving dynamics, refinement, and crash performance. Powered by a 2.5-liter 4 backed by a pair of electric motors, the Sienna gets optional electric all-wheel drive. It's a through-the-road system with no mechanical connection between the front and rear axles. This setup can send up to 80% of available power to the rear wheels, but most of the time, the Sienna should act like a normal front driver. Unlike Chrysler's electrified Pacifica, this isn't a plug-in hybrid. That means Sienna won't have significant electric-only range, though the drive selector does offer an EV mode for very short distances. It also means you won't need to plug in your ride to achieve max efficiency. While full fuel economy numbers remain TBD, the automaker says it's targeting 33 miles per gallon on the EPA's combined cycle. That would be a massive win over today's minivan crop, including the Honda Odyssey's 22 mpg and today's Sienna at 21. Of course, minivans are all about keeping your family safe and out of each other's hair. As such, the new Sienna can be loaded down with a clubhouse worth of toys and features, including 7 USB ports, 18 cup holders, HD rear seat entertainment, Wi-Fi hotspot, a vacuum, and even a refrigerator. That's right, a fridge and 18 cup holders. I need a rest stop just thinking about this thing. In terms of safety, Sienna comes standard with blind spot monitor, pre-collision auto brake with pedestrian and low light detection, as well as adaptive cruise, lane departure warning with steering assist, roadside recognition, and rear occupant reminder. Other available safety tech includes a digital rearview mirror, 360-degree camera suite, and a 10-inch head-up display that's standard on the new top-end Platinum trim. Toyota says this Indiana-built 4th-generation Sienna should be ready to schlep around your ungrateful little snowflakes late this year.